At the Richmond estate, a 7-year-old girl violently pulls the long, curly hair of a black woman. The child is called Emma. The woman is Zara Williams, the new housekeeper. Emma yanks hair strands with brutal force. Her tiny hands pull relentlessly, as if she truly wants to cause pain. Zara screams in agony. "Stop, little one, please stop." The child has empty, expressionless eyes. She doesn't stop, pulls harder. From across the room, Marcus Richmond observes the scene with a tense expression. He's Emma's father, a 34-year-old businessman, tall, wearing an expensive suit, having witnessed this situation 15 times before. Beside him stands Eleanor Richmond, his mother, an elegant 62-year-old lady with well-groomed gray hair. She watches with the air of someone who already knows how this will end. Emma doesn't smile, only attacks whoever tries to approach her. All other caregivers ran away. Experienced nannies, specialized therapists, even pediatric nurses. All fled from this small, fierce child. Zara tries to break free, but Emma pulls with more force. The dark curls bounce violently. Marcus approaches to separate them, as he always does. Eleanor waits satisfactorily for another resignation. But Zara stops screaming, stops trying to break free, takes a deep breath, and does something no one expects. Instead of pushing Emma or running away, Zara gently embraces the girl, as if she were a frightened puppy. Emma stops pulling for a few seconds. No one has ever reacted like this before. Zara begins to sing softly. "Sleep, my angel, sleep in peace. The world can wait. Mama's here, nothing will hurt you anymore." Her voice is smooth and warm. She rocks gently, cradling the child. Emma slowly releases the hair. Her little hands remain frozen in the air, confused. She lifts her face and looks at Zara for the first time. Really looks. Marcus is paralyzed. In 2 long years, since losing his wife, he's never seen his daughter stop attacking someone who touched her. His eyes become moist, but he holds back the emotion. Can't show weakness in front of his mother. Eleanor loses her smile. Her face hardens. This wasn't supposed to be happening. Not with a simple housekeeper. Emma rests her little face on Zara's shoulder. It's not exactly a hug, but it's the first time she sought closeness with anyone in 2 years. Zara continues singing, ignoring the pain in her scalp and the strands scattered on the floor. For her, rocking that child is the most natural thing in the world. Ruby, the oldest employee in the house, appears in the doorway carrying clean towels. She stops, mouth agape. In 25 years caring for the family, she's never witnessed anything like this. Marcus blinks several times, trying to process what he's seeing. For the first time in a long while, he feels something he had completely forgotten. Hope. Eleanor observes everything with growing irritation. In her mind, one thing becomes clear. This intruder won't last even a week in her house. 3 hours later, Emma is on the living room floor, playing with colored blocks. Zara cleans the furniture nearby, watching the girl from a distance. Marcus enters the room, still trying to understand what he witnessed earlier. "Have you worked with children before?" Zara stops cleaning and looks at him. "No, Mr. Marcus. I've only worked in normal family homes, never with special needs children." She returns to work but continues talking softly so as not to bother Emma. "I really need this job. My grandmother is hospitalized with Alzheimer's. If I can't pay for private treatment this month, they'll transfer her to public care. She can't handle change right now." Marcus notices how Emma reacted to Zara's voice. The girl lifted her head, paying attention, something she didn't do with anyone else. Emma was different before. She talked, smiled. She was a smart child, had some strange behaviors, but nothing like this. Zara stops working and looks at him with pity. What happened to her? Marcus takes a deep breath. The pain is still fresh. "My wife died in a car accident." Emma saw it all happen. Since then, she stopped talking, stopped trusting anyone, became what you saw today. While they talk, Emma slowly approaches Zara, not to attack, but as if curious, stopping a few meters away, just observing. Zara crouches down, getting to the child's height. "Hi, Emma. Did you like the song I sang?" Emma says nothing, but also doesn't move away. For a child who would normally attack anyone who spoke to her, this is already a small miracle. Marcus watches, impressed by the difference in his daughter's behavior. From the kitchen, Eleanor is on the phone speaking quietly. "Yes, Patricia, a very delicate situation here at home. A new employee who's getting too involved with Emma. Do you know any good therapists?" I need a second professional opinion. A week has passed. Every day when Zara arrives for work, Emma comes to her, but now no longer pulls hair violently. She touches gently, as if discovering a new texture. Today, during lunch, something incredible happens. Emma is sitting in her little chair, pushing the plate away as she always does. Doesn't want to eat. Shakes her head, closes her mouth. Zara sits beside her without forcing anything. You know, Emma, when I was little like you, my grandmother made special food. She said each spoonful had love inside. Emma stops pushing the plate, looks at Zara. Want to try a little spoonful of love? If you don't like it, you don't have to eat more. Promise. To everyone's surprise, Emma opens her mouth, accepts a spoonful, then another. It's the first complete meal she's had in weeks. Marcus watches from the kitchen doorway, controlling his emotion. How did a housekeeper accomplish in 1 week what 15 specialists couldn't in 2 years? Ruby enters the kitchen and whispers to him, Mr. Marcus, this girl is different. Little Emma looked in her eyes today for real. Marcus continues watching the two. Emma is pointing to fruits on the plate, trying to communicate somehow. Do you think I'm doing the right thing, Ruby? Letting an employee get so close to Emma? Ruby smiles. Sir, the heart doesn't understand diplomas. This child needs affection and seems to have found it. From the office, Eleanor watches everything on a small screen. She installed cameras in the bedroom and kitchen without anyone knowing. She picks up the phone and dials a number. Dr. Foster, it's urgent. You need to come here tomorrow. The situation with my granddaughter is getting out of control. Eleanor is having tea with neighbor Patricia Wells on the veranda. Both are longtime friends, both from local high society. Patricia, can I ask you a favor? It's about a delicate situation here at home. Of course, Eleanor, what happened? We hired a new housekeeper, and she's getting too involved with Emma. You know how sensitive my granddaughter is after the tragedy. Eleanor uses the tone of a concerned grandmother, mastering manipulation. This woman has no training to deal with special needs children. I'm afraid she's doing more harm than good, you know? Patricia is immediately interested. How so? Getting too involved? The child only wants to eat if she's nearby, only accepts care from her. This can't be normal, right? Eleanor carefully plants the seed of gossip. I also discovered she didn't even finish high school. We don't know anything about her past, a stranger caring for my special granddaughter. That same day, Patricia tells 3 friends. The next day, half the wealthy neighborhood is commenting about the inappropriate housekeeper at the Richmonds. Meanwhile, Zara arrives for work knowing nothing. She greets Ruby in the kitchen. Good morning, Miss Ruby. How's Emma today? Ruby looks worried. Zara, dear, be careful. Mrs. Eleanor has been asking a lot about you. Wants to know if you have other jobs, if anyone has ever complained. Zara becomes confused. Did I do something wrong? Ruby shakes her head. On the contrary, child, you did everything right, and maybe that's exactly the problem. Later, Zara goes to look for her documents in the office drawer where Eleanor kept them. They're not there. Mrs. Eleanor, my documents disappeared from the drawer. Eleanor feigns total surprise. How strange, Zara. I'm sure they were there yesterday. You didn't take them home? No, ma'am. Mr. Marcus asked me to leave them here to make copies. Eleanor furrows her brow, as if genuinely concerned. This is very odd. How can I be sure your documents are real if they simply disappeared like this? The first seed of doubt was planted and Eleanor is just beginning. 2 weeks after Zara's first day, Emma is on the living room carpet playing with dolls. Zara arranges books on the shelf. Emma stops playing, looks at Zara slowly, stands up and walks to her. Instead of pulling hair, Emma extends her little hand and makes a very gentle caress. It's the first time she initiates an affectionate gesture with anyone in 2 years. Zara smiles, but without exaggerating so as not to frighten the girl. What a sweet caress, Emma. Then something even more incredible happens. Emma opens her mouth and makes a soft sound. She's trying to imitate the sound Zara makes when singing. Marcus is passing through the hallway when he hears. He stops immediately, shocked. His daughter trying to communicate. He hides behind the door to observe without disturbing. Seeing Emma being affectionate moves him deeply, but he controls his emotion. Can't allow himself to be carried away by false hopes. He's been hurt too much, believing things could improve. Ruby also sees the scene from the kitchen door. She smiles emotionally. In 25 years working in this house, she knows how to recognize when something special is happening. But not everyone is happy. From the bedroom, Eleanor watches everything on a small screen connected to cameras she installed. Her face contorts with irritation. This intruder is gaining too much ground. I need to act soon. She picks up the phone. Dr. Foster, it's Eleanor. Remember I said to come look at Emma's situation? I need you to come tomorrow. It's urgent. The voice on the other end responds something. I don't care if you have patience. This here is priority. An unqualified person is messing with my granddaughter and my son is allowing it. Eleanor hangs up and returns to watching the screen. Enjoy it while you can, little girl. Your days here are numbered. The next day, Marcus is in the office when Ruby announces a visitor. Dr. Sarah Foster enters the room. 45 years old, business attire, briefcase in hand. She speaks with natural authority. Marcus, your mother explained the situation. I came to evaluate what's happening with Emma. Marcus is surprised. He didn't know his mother had called anyone. Eleanor enters the room right behind. Sarah was Patricia's college colleague, one of the best behavioral therapists in the city. Sarah opens her briefcase and shows some papers. Marcus, I understand you want to see your daughter well, but I need to alert you about something important. She points to some charts. Children on the autism spectrum can create emotional dependence with people who don't know how to handle them properly. This delays real development. Marcus listens, but is confused. Emma seems to be improving with Zara. She's eating better, calmer. Sarah shakes her head. This is what we call temporary improvement. The child may seem better for a while, but without structured treatment, she doesn't truly develop. Eleanor agrees immediately. Exactly, son. That's what I've been trying to explain to you. At that moment, Zara enters with a coffee tray. Emma comes behind her, walking beside her like a shadow. Sarah observes the scene attentively. Marcus, can I talk to you alone? Zara leaves with Emma. Sarah waits for them to leave. What I just saw confirms what I suspected. This girl is completely dependent on the employee. It's dangerous. She notes something in her pad. My recommendation? Remove this influence and start serious treatment. Emma needs to learn to trust qualified professionals. Marcus is torn between what he sees with his own eyes and what the specialists are saying. Can I think about this? Sarah closes the pad. Marcus, every day we lose without adequate treatment is one less day for Emma's development. We can't let emotions interfere with her future. Eleanor smiles discreetly. Her plan is working perfectly. Outside, Ruby passed by the door at the right moment and heard part of the conversation. These two are plotting something against Zara, and little Emma is going to be hurt in all this. She decides she needs to pay more attention. She senses something very bad is about to happen to that woman who finally brought some joy to this house. 3 weeks after Zara's first day at the mansion, Marcus is in the office handling papers but can't concentrate. In recent days, conversations with Sarah have planted doubts in his head. Sarah arrives for the third evaluation of the week. She observes Emma playing with Zara in the garden through the window. Marcus, I've been observing the situation and I'm really concerned. She points to the window where Emma follows Zara everywhere. Look, the girl can't stay even a minute away from her. This isn't progress, it's total dependence. Marcus observes the two. It's true that Emma clings to Zara all the time, but she seems happy. But she's eating well, sleeping better. Sarah sits in front of him. Marcus, I understand it's difficult to accept. You're a father, you want to see your daughter well, but what seems like improvement can be a trap. She shows some printed studies. Children like Emma may seem better temporarily, but without structured stimuli, they don't truly develop. For 3 consecutive days, Sarah repeats the same arguments. Marcus, who was already insecure about his decisions as a father, begins to be convinced. On the 4th day, when Zara brings him coffee, Marcus changes his tone. Zara, I've been thinking about Emma's situation. Maybe it's better if you keep a bit more distance from her. His tone is no longer warm as before. It's professional, formal. Zara becomes confused. Did I do something wrong, Mr. Marcus? It's not that you did something wrong. It's just that, well, maybe it's better to focus more on domestic work. His coldness hurts Zara deeply. Until yesterday, he smiled when he saw her with Emma. Now he treats her like any stranger. She leaves the office without understanding what changed. The next morning, Eleanor executes her sabotage plan. She enters Emma's room very early and subtly changes some things. Turns the blanket inside out, moves the stuffed animal, puts the pillow in the opposite position. These are small changes, but they greatly irritate an autistic child who needs exact routine. Then changes breakfast time. Instead of 8 o'clock, serves at 7:30. Knowing this will make Emma agitated. When Zara arrives at 8 to start work, she finds Emma upset. The girl is confused, restless, clapping her little hands together. Emma, what's wrong, my angel? What happened? Emma can't explain, but is clearly disturbed. She returns to pulling Zara's hair, but now with force, as if taking out her irritation. Eleanor appears in the doorway at the exact moment. Oh my, what an ugly tantrum. Emma, stop that. She picks up her phone and discreetly starts filming. Marcus appears shortly after, drawn by the noise. What's happening here? Eleanor continues filming while responding. Emma became aggressive again. Son, you see? Exactly like Dr. Foster said would happen. Marcus looks at the scene, his daughter attacking Zara violently. Sarah, who arrived early today, observes everything while taking notes. It's exactly the pattern I predicted, Marcus. Emotional dependence caused behavioral instability when we try to establish limits. Marcus doesn't understand. Yesterday Emma was fine. What changed from 1 hour to the next? But the images before him are clear. His daughter is assaulting Zara like in the first days. Even with all the pressures and doubts, Marcus can't stop observing Zara. In the following days, he makes excuses to pass through areas where she works. He sees how she continues being patient with Emma. Today he witnesses a scene that deeply moves him. Emma spills grape juice on Zara's white blouse. The red stain spreads across the entire front of the outfit. Instead of getting angry, Zara looks at the stain and smiles. Oh my, you turn me into a work of art. What a beautiful color. Emma, who expected scolding, is surprised. She points to the stain and makes a sound that seems like pretty. Marcus observes hidden in the hallway, impressed by how Zara transforms even accidents into positive moments. He realizes he's not just admiring her way with Emma. He's feeling attracted to Zara as a person. When she bends down to clean the floor, a strand of hair falls across her face. Marcus feels a strange impulse to approach, to brush that hair from her face. This reaction scares him. He can't be falling in love with an employee. It's not appropriate. Not after only a month. But every time he sees Zara, he feels something he hadn't felt since before Helena's death, a true connection. At the end of the afternoon, something happens that moves him even more. Emma picks up colored pencils and paper. For the first time in 2 years, she draws 3 simple figures holding hands. One small in the middle, 2 bigger on the sides. When Marcus sees the drawing, his heart races. Emma drew a family. Her, Zara, and him. Eleanor quickly grabs the paper. What a strange scribble, granddaughter. Let's draw pretty flowers. She crumples the paper, but it's too late. Marcus already saw and understood that in his daughter's mind Zara is already part of the family. This both moves and terrifies him. A week later, Eleanor decides to execute her definitive blow. She waits for everyone to sleep and goes to Zara's room. She brings a gold bracelet that belonged to Helena, her deceased daughter-in-law. Carefully, she hides the jewelry inside Zara's pillowcase. The plan is simple. Wait a few days, then look for the bracelet and discover it in Zara's room. For 3 days, Eleanor acts normally, waiting for the right moment. On Wednesday, during lunch, she executes the second part of the plan. Marcus, have you seen my gold bracelet? The one Helena gave me on her last birthday? Marcus looks at his mother concerned. I haven't seen it. Mom, where did you leave it? It was on my dresser last night. I searched my entire room. Can't find it anywhere. Eleanor pauses as if a terrible idea had crossed her mind. Marcus, the only person who enters my room for cleaning is the new employee. Sarah, who is having lunch with them, interferes. Eleanor, this is very serious. But before accusing anyone, we need to be absolutely sure. She speaks as if impartial, but is already clearly on Eleanor's side. I suggest we discreetly check the employee's belongings. If she's innocent, she won't mind cooperating. Marcus feels uncomfortable, doesn't want to believe Zara is capable of stealing. People, Zara always seemed very honest. Eleanor sighs like a suffering mother. Son, I don't want to believe it either, but this bracelet is worth $40,000. And it was the last memory I had of Helena. The mention of his dead wife affects Marcus. He feels he needs to protect her memory. All right, let's check. But carefully so as not to offend her if she's innocent. Eleanor can barely hide her satisfaction. Of course, son. Tomorrow morning, during normal working hours. At that moment, they're in the bedroom. Zara is helping Emma put away toys before sleeping. Emma takes Zara's hand and points to the bedroom mirror. In the reflection, the two appear together. The girl smiles and rests her head on Zara's arm. It's her way of saying she really likes the housekeeper. Zara feels her chest tighten without knowing why, as if this happiness is too good to last long. The next morning, Eleanor puts the plan into action. She waits for Zara to start tidying the upstairs bedrooms, then calls Marcus and Sarah. I think it's time to look for my bracelet more carefully. The three go upstairs together. Emma comes behind without understanding what's happening, but feeling the heavy tension in the air. Eleanor knocks on Zara's bedroom door. Excuse me, Zara. We need to take a look here to see if my bracelet didn't fall somewhere by accident. Zara becomes confused, but can't refuse. Of course, Mrs. Eleanor. Make yourselves comfortable. Eleanor rummages through drawers, looks under the bed, pretends to search in various places, then goes straight to the pillow. Let me see if it didn't fall back here. She sticks her hand in the pillowcase and retrieves the bracelet, feigning total shock. My God in heaven, it's here. Zara turns white as paper. I don't know how that got there. I never took this bracelet, didn't even know it existed. Sarah observes everything with a grave expression. Zara, this is very serious. You understand this can be considered theft? I swear to God I didn't steal anything. Please, you have to believe me. Marcus looks at Zara, then at the bracelet. He wants very much to believe her, but how to explain the jewelry being hidden in the pillowcase? Zara, how do you explain this? Someone must have put it there. I never enter Mrs. Eleanor's room. Eleanor feigns sadness. Zara, dear, I know you're going through difficulty with your sick grandmother, but stealing isn't the way. I didn't steal. Why would I steal and hide in my own room? This doesn't make sense. Emma senses that something very bad is happening. The tension in the room is suffocating. She begins to get desperate. Suddenly, she explodes in total fury. She pulls Zara's hair with extreme violence, as if all accumulated rage came out at once. Eleanor continues filming discreetly. Look at this. She became aggressive again, just like I said would happen. Sarah notes everything in her pad. Emma is reacting to the emotional instability of the environment. It's normal in cases like this. Marcus sees his daughter attacking Zara brutally and feels he's losing control of everything. Stop, Emma, enough. He separates the two, but Emma continues screaming and struggling. An hour later, in the office, Marcus made the most difficult decision of his life. Zara is in front of his desk, still in shock from the accusations. Eleanor and Sarah are present as witnesses. Zara, I really wanted to believe you. From my heart. Marcus looks at the bracelet on the desk, but I can't ignore the facts. The bracelet was in your room, and Emma became aggressive again after I tried to establish limits. Mr. Marcus, for God's sake, someone put that in my room. Why would I steal and hide in my own bed? Zara tries to defend herself more forcefully, but realizes she's already lost his trust. Let me talk to Miss Ruby. She knows me. She knows I'm not a thief. Sarah interferes with a professional tone. Zara, I understand it's difficult to accept, but people in financial difficulty sometimes make choices they wouldn't normally make. Eleanor completes, feigning pity. Dear, we understand your situation. We know you need money for your grandmother. The hypocrisy of both leaves Zara desperate. I've worked my whole life. Never took a lost penny from the ground. Marcus stands up decided, but suffering. Zara, for the safety of my daughter and my family, you can't stay here anymore. Zara's world collapses. Mr. Marcus, please, at least let me say goodbye to Emma properly. Marcus hesitates, but Sarah interferes. It's better for the child's emotional development. Gradual ruptures cause more trauma. No, Zara, it's better if you leave now without creating more confusion for her. Zara looks at the three, pleading with her eyes. And my grandmother. Without this salary, I can't pay for private hospital. Eleanor feigns compassion. Dear, we'll give positive references for you to find another job, but you can't stay here anymore. Marcus turns his face, avoiding looking into Zara's eyes. Deep in his chest, he knows something isn't right, but he's afraid of being blinded by his own feelings. Zara packs her few things in silence. Tears flow, but she doesn't beg anymore. She understands she's already lost. When she's leaving, she finds Ruby in the hallway. Miss Ruby, take good care of Emma for me. She's very special. Ruby hugs Zara, also crying. I know you didn't do anything wrong, my child. I know you didn't. A week has passed since Zara left. Emma is in total collapse. She doesn't eat anything solid, barely drinks water, returns to attacking everyone who tries to approach. Marcus tries to give her food at lunchtime. Come, little daughter, a little spoon for daddy. Emma pushes the plate with such force that food flies and scatters across the floor. She screams nonstop, even without words. It's a scream of desperation, as if calling for someone who doesn't come. Sarah tries to apply her structured exercises. Emma, look here at me. Let's breathe together. Inhale, exhale. Emma doesn't look, doesn't respond, turns her back and hides under the table, trembling. All the small evolution she had with Zara disappeared completely. Worse, she's more closed off than before. Ruby can't stand seeing the child suffer anymore. She looks for Marcus in the office. Mr. Marcus, can I say something? Speak, Ruby. Little Emma is like this because she misses Zara. She was the only person she truly cared for. Marcus sighs, exhausted. But the professionals said this dependence was harmful. Ruby, for the first time in 25 years, contradicts the employer. Sir, I raised 5 children and cared for this girl since she was born. She was never as happy as she was with Zara. Marcus looks out the window. Emma is sitting in the garden, alone, staring fixedly at the gate, as if waiting for someone to return. What if I'm right, Ruby? What if this dependence is really dangerous? Ruby approaches courageously. And what if you're wrong in driving away who made your daughter smile for the first time in 2 years? The question echoes in the empty office. 10 days after Zara's departure, Dr. Thompson, the family pediatrician, makes an emergency house call. Emma is visibly thinner and weaker. Marcus, I'm concerned about Emma. She's lost too much weight in a short time. How much did she lose? 3 pounds in 10 days. For a 7-year-old child, this is very significant. Marcus becomes terrified. Is it dangerous? If she doesn't start eating properly in the next few days, I'll have to consider more intensive medical support. Maybe hospital hydration. The possibility of hospitalizing his daughter leaves Marcus desperate, but the therapist said it would improve with adequate treatment. Dr. Thompson shakes his head. Marcus, there's no treatment that works when the child is rejecting food and water. Something changed drastically in her life. That night, Marcus can't sleep. He watches Emma, who is restless in bed, tossing from one side to the other. Suddenly, in the middle of sleep, she whispers something very softly. Zara, where's Zara? It's the first time she's spoken the full name since Zara left. Marcus feels his chest tighten. His daughter is calling for the person he sent away. For the first time, he begins to seriously question whether he made the right decision. In the kitchen, Ruby can't sleep either. She's organizing a folder with papers, photos she took, notes she made during weeks. Tomorrow I'm going to show everything to Mr. Marcus, even if it costs me my job. She can't stay quiet anymore watching that innocent child suffer because of the evil of grown-ups, because Ruby knows the truth. And it's time to reveal everything. 2 weeks after Zara's expulsion, Dr. Thompson is in Emma's room, very concerned. The girl is lying down, pale, without strength. Marcus, I'm going to be direct with you. Emma needs to start accepting liquids today, or I'll have to consider hospital support. Marcus becomes desperate. His daughter is literally wasting away in front of him. Doctor, there has to be another way. Sarah, who is present, tries to maintain her position. Marcus, this is just resistance to treatment. When she realizes the former employee won't return, she'll accept other people. Dr. Thompson looks at her impatiently. Doctor, excuse me, but children don't improve by being forced into decline. Marcus knows he only has one option, goes against everything the women said. I'm going to call Zara just to get Emma to accept a little water. Eleanor becomes alarmed. Son, after everything that happened, you can't. Mom, if my daughter dies, nothing else will matter in my life. He calls the number Zara left. Zara? It's Marcus. I know I don't deserve to ask this, but can you come here? Emma isn't well at all. 40 minutes later, Zara arrives. She's thinner, red eyes from crying. She got work as a day cleaner in various houses to try to save money. When she enters Emma's room, she gets a shock. The girl is lying down, barely moving. My God, Emma, what did they do to you? Zara sits on the edge of the bed. Emma slowly opens her eyes. When she sees Zara, her little eyes fill with life. She whispers very softly, Zara, It's the first clear word she's spoken since Zara left. Marcus, who was tense leaning against the wall, gets deeply emotional, but controls himself so as not to disturb the moment. Zara picks up a glass of water. Are you thirsty, my love? Let's drink just a little bit. Emma accepts. Drinks slowly, but drinks. Then accepts some spoonfuls of soup. The first food in more than a day. Eleanor observes from the door, furious, but unable to do anything. Marcus won't let her interfere this time. 3 days later, Emma is visibly better, accepting food and water, but only when Zara is nearby. Marcus is in the confused office. If Zara is really inadequate, why does his daughter only improve with her? Ruby knocks on the door. Mr. Marcus, can I talk to you? It's very important. Come in, Ruby. What is it? She sits in front of him, nervous, holding some crumpled papers. Sir, I didn't want to meddle in employer business, but I can't stay quiet anymore. Ruby takes a deep breath. Mrs. Eleanor has been doing strange things with little Emma. How so, Ruby? She shows a blurry photo she managed to take with her old phone. I saw her entering Emma's room at dawn, messing with the girl's things, turning the blanket inside out, changing toys places. Marcus takes the photo, trying to see better. Are you sure of what you saw? Ruby shows other papers. And Zara's documents that disappeared. I found them in your mother's office trash. They're here, look. Marcus takes the crumpled documents, recognizing Zara's work card. There's more, sir. Ruby plays a recording on her phone. The quality is poor, but Eleanor's voice can be heard. I need to get rid of this intruder before she becomes family for real. People like her don't mix with people like us. Marcus is astonished. It's his own mother's voice. Ruby, why didn't you tell me this before? She lowers her head ashamed. I was afraid, sir. I'm a widow. I need the job. But when I saw little Emma almost dying of sadness, I couldn't be a coward anymore. Marcus feels a mixture of anger and shame. His own mother harmed his daughter out of pure prejudice. Where's my mother now? In the living room talking with Dr. Foster. Marcus takes the evidence. Now I'm going to clarify this story once and for all. Marcus enters the room where Eleanor and Sarah are calmly having tea. Mom, Sarah, we need to have a conversation. He places the papers on the coffee table. Of course, son. About what? Marcus shows the blurry photos. About this. About you entering Emma's room at dawn to sabotage her. Eleanor looks at the papers, trying to maintain elegance. Marcus, I don't know what crazy story this is. He plays Ruby's phone recording. Her voice comes out muffled, but recognizable. People like her don't mix with people like us. Eleanor pales, but tries to deny. This recording could be of anything. Marcus throws the crumpled documents on the table. And this? Zara's documents that you threw in the trash after saying they had disappeared. Sarah tries to defend. Marcus, maybe your mother was overly concerned, but the intention was to protect you. Marcus looks directly into her eyes. Sarah, did you know my mother was sabotaging my daughter? Sarah stutters. I thought the situation wasn't appropriate anyway. And about planting evidence, about making a child suffer to harm an innocent. Is that appropriate too? Sarah can't answer. Eleanor realizes she's been discovered, stands up from the armchair, losing her aristocratic pose. All right, Marcus, I did it. Yes, I did. She points her finger at him. But it was to protect our family. Don't you see that woman would take advantage of you? Would use Emma to get to your money? Mom, Zara cared for my daughter better than anyone. And you destroyed that out of prejudice. Eleanor explodes in rage. Prejudice nothing. It's reality. People like her don't marry people like us. I saved the Richmond family honor. Marcus looks at his mother with total disgust. What honor, Mom? You lied, schemed, made an innocent child suffer. Eleanor sees she's lost her son forever. You're going to regret this bitterly, Marcus. When you discover what type of person she really is, you'll remember my words. Marcus picks up the house phone. Mom, you have until tomorrow morning to leave my house. The next day, Eleanor packs her bags angrily. Sarah receives a call while still at the mansion. Dr. Foster, this is the State Psychology Board. Can you schedule a conversation with us? We received a complaint about the Richmond case. Sarah pales. Someone reported her for inappropriate conduct. In the following days, 2 patients cancel treatment. News that she mixed personal prejudice with professional evaluation begins to spread. Eleanor leaves the mansion without saying goodbye to her granddaughter. Before getting in the car, she speaks to Marcus. This story will end badly for you. Don't say I didn't warn you. She leaves alone, carrying only bitterness. That afternoon, Marcus calls Zara. Zara, can you come back? Not just for a few hours, forever, if you want. Zara hesitates on the other end of the line. Mr. Marcus, how can I be sure you won't change your mind again? Because now I know the truth, and I know I almost lost the most important people in my life because of lies. Emma, who is beside Marcus, shouts into the phone. Zara, Zara, come back. It's the first time she shouted a name instead of screaming in anger. Zara, moved, can't resist. I'm coming there. 2 hours later, Zara is back at the mansion. Marcus waits in the living room. He's visibly shaken and regretful. Zara, before anything else, I need to ask your forgiveness. She stops in front of him, still hurt by the injustices. I discovered everything. My mother schemed against you, planted the bracelet, sabotaged Emma, manipulated everything. Zara listens without saying anything. I'm a complete idiot, a terrible father. I almost let my daughter die by not trusting who really cared for her. Marcus lowers his head. Can you forgive me? Zara looks at him for a long time. Mr. Marcus, I'm not angry with you. I'm very hurt. She sits in the armchair across from him. You treated me like a thief. You threw me out when Emma needed me most. You doubted me without giving me a real chance to explain. Each word is like a slap to Marcus's face. You're right. I have no excuse. Zara breathes deeply. But I accept coming back. Not for you, for Emma. She's not to blame for the mistakes adults made. At that moment, Emma appears in the living room. When she sees Zara, her eyes shine with joy. She runs and hugs the housekeeper with all her strength. Zara, Zara, don't leave anymore. Marcus gets emotional seeing the scene, but understands he'll need a lot of time to regain Zara's trust. He lost something precious, the right to be loved by her. A week after Zara's return, the routine returned to normal. Emma is eating well, sleeping properly, smiling again, but the relationship between Marcus and Zara changed completely. She works, cares for Emma lovingly, but treats him with cold politeness. Marcus tries to talk. Zara, how's your grandmother? She responds without stopping folding clothes. I got 2 more day jobs. Now I can keep her in private hospital. You don't need to work other places. Here you earn enough. Zara stops and looks at him. Mr. Marcus, I learned never to depend on just one source of income again. Things change very quickly. The indirect remark hurts him. She's protecting herself in case he changes his mind again. Zara, I want you to know you're very important to me, to both of us. Zara returns to work. I'm important to Emma, Mr. Marcus, and that's enough for me. Emma, who was drawing on the carpet, approaches the two, takes Zara's hand and then her father's hand, trying to join them. In her language, she's asking for everyone to be united again. Marcus looks into Zara's eyes. Even Emma knows we should be together. Zara carefully withdraws her hand. Emma is a child, Mr. Marcus. She doesn't understand that the adult world is complicated. Marcus realizes he'll need a lot of patience to regain her trust, but he's willing to wait as long as necessary. 6 weeks after Zara's return, life at the mansion is peaceful. Emma improved a lot, speaks some words, plays more, even accepts affection from other people besides Zara. Marcus observes Zara and Emma in the garden. They're planting flowers together, laughing. Seeing that scene, he can no longer deny what he feels. Those two are his real family. They're the people he loves most in the world. He approaches the two. Zara, can I talk to you? You can, Mr. Marcus. Emma continues playing in the dirt while they talk. Zara, in all these months, I learned something very important. She looks at him, curious. I learned that you didn't just save Emma, you saved me too. Marcus crouches down, getting to her height. Before you came here, I was dead inside. Didn't know how to be a father anymore, how to be human. You brought life to this house. Zara becomes uncomfortable. Mr. Marcus, you don't need to say this. Yes, I do. Zara, I fell in love with you, with the incredible person you are. Zara stands up startled. Mr. Marcus, you can't say something like that. I work in your house. You're not just my employee, you're the woman I love. The mother my daughter chose for her heart. Emma looks at both, feeling something important is happening. Zara shakes her head fearfully. This is too complicated. What if your family doesn't accept? What if you change your mind when everyone starts criticizing? Marcus takes her hands. Zara, I choose you two first always. I don't care what anyone will say. Zara is divided between the fear of surrendering and the desire to believe him. I need time to think about all this. Marcus smiles patiently. I'll wait as long as you need to trust me again. Emma approaches and takes both their hands, joining them as she always does. She looks at both and smiles big. It's the most sincere approval in the world, from a child who just wants to see the people she loves happy. 2 weeks after the love declaration, Zara thought a lot about Marcus's feelings. She observed how he changed. More present with Emma, more humble, more true with everyone. Today he does something that catches her by surprise. The three are in the garden. Emma plays in the sand when Marcus kneels in front of Zara. Zara Hope Williams, will you agree to date me? Zara is speechless. Mr. Marcus, I don't have pretty words, no impossible promises. I just have real love and the guarantee that I'll never doubt you again. Emma stops playing and comes running when she sees her father kneeling. When she understands what's happening, she does something beautiful, takes both their hands and joins them forcefully, then points to the house, to herself, and makes a gesture meaning all together. It's the purest approval that exists. Zara looks at Emma, then at Marcus. What if it doesn't work? What if it's too difficult? Marcus stands up and holds her face. Then we face it together as a family. Emma hugs both their legs. Family. It's the first time she speaks an abstract word like this. Zara, with tears in her eyes, finally accepts. All right, I accept dating you. Emma claps and shouts. Daddy, Zara, Emma, together. Marcus hugs the two women of his life. For the first time in years he feels complete, but deep down he knows they'll still face a lot of resistance. Their love will be tested by many people's prejudice in society. From across the street, a figure observes hidden behind a tree. It's Eleanor. She came to get some things she forgot, but ended up witnessing the scene. She sees her son embraced with the former employee and granddaughter. Her face fills with hate and bitterness. You'll still regret this, all of you. She gets in the car and leaves. But the anger in her chest promises this story isn't over. In another part of the city, Sarah is in her empty office. She lost 2 more patients this week. She looks at her appointment book with no commitments and realizes she destroyed her own career trying to destroy others' happiness. At the mansion, Marcus, Zara, and Emma dine together for the first time as a real family. Emma points to Zara, Mommy, points to her father, Daddy, and beats her own chest. Emma happy. It's the first time she expresses a feeling with words. Zara and Marcus look at each other emotionally. They finally found what they were always looking for. A real family, made of love, not obligation. 3 weeks after Zara accepted dating Marcus, news of the relationship already spread throughout the local elite. Today Marcus has a meeting at the business club, and he knows it won't be easy. At the club headquarters, 5 important businessmen are seated at an expensive wooden table. Marcus arrives and sees the closed faces. Marcus, sit here. We have a serious matter to discuss with you, says Charles Patterson, club president. Marcus sits already knowing what it's about. It's about this story with your maid. Ex-maid, now she's my girlfriend. The men look at each other uncomfortably. Marcus, brother, you understand the complicated situation this creates for all of us? Asks Robert Anderson. Complicated how? Charles leans forward. Our businesses depend on social credibility. If one of our most respected members is getting involved with a housekeeper, Marcus feels his blood boil. She has a name, Zara, and she's worth more than all of you put together. Robert tries to ease. Calm down, man. We're not questioning her as a person, but you have to understand this hurts the whole group's image. Marcus stands up. You know something? You're right. This does hurt. It shows how small and prejudiced you are. He picks up his briefcase. You can cross my name off the club. I don't want to participate in a group that judges people by their wallet. Marcus leaves, slamming the door. In the following days, consequences come quickly. Richard Simpson cancels a $2 million contract. 3 suppliers stop working with him. The bank questions some loans. At home, Zara realizes he's worried. You're losing a lot of money because of me, aren't you, Marcus? He tries to disguise. I'm losing partners who weren't worth it anyway and gaining something much more valuable. What? You and a real family. Emma approaches, sensing the serious conversation. Daddy's sad because of Zara. Marcus picks her up. No, my love. Daddy is happy. Very happy. 2 months after the club conversation, Marcus lost almost half his contracts, but he's reinventing himself. He started working with smaller, more humane companies. Zara finished the technical course he paid for and now helps with the administrative part of business. Emma progressed a lot, speaks single words, can play with other children for a few minutes, even accepts affection from new people when Zara introduces them. Today the three are in the garden on a Saturday afternoon. Marcus looks at Zara, who is teaching Emma to plant sunflower seedlings. Seeing that scene, he has absolute certainty. He wants that woman as his wife, wants to build an entire life beside her. Zara, can I ask you something important? She looks at him, curious. Of course. Marcus kneels, right there in the garden grass where everything began. Zara Hope Williams, will you marry me? Zara stops breathing for a second. I don't have a diamond ring to give you. I won't promise you a lady's life, but I have real love and a daughter who loves you as a mother. Emma drops the little seedling when she sees her father kneeling. She understands immediately what's happening. She runs to them and takes both their hands, joining them forcefully. Marry, everyone marry together. It's her way of saying she wants everyone living as a family forever. Zara looks at Emma, then at Marcus. What if people continue not accepting? What if it becomes too difficult? Marcus continues kneeling. We face it together, like real families do. Emma shouts excitedly. Say like this, Zara, say yes. Zara laughs emotionally. Then all right. I accept marrying you. Emma jumps with joy. Wedding, party, dress. Marcus stands up and hugs the two women of his life, but he knows that until they reach the altar they'll still face a lot of society's resistance. 2 weeks after the marriage proposal, things became more difficult. Marcus lost 3 more big contracts. The explanation is always the same: instability in business image. Today he's at the bank trying to renew a loan. Mr. Richmond, unfortunately we can't approve the renewal under current conditions, explains the manager. Why? My record has always been impeccable. Well, some questions about social stability arose that could affect payment capacity. Marcus understands immediately. Even the bank is discriminating against him. I understand perfectly. I'll look for another bank. At home, Zara notices he arrived later with a closed face. Did something happen? Marcus doesn't want to worry her. Just some work problems, nothing I can't solve. But Ruby, who heard his phone conversation with the manager, tells Zara, my child, Mr. Marcus is losing a lot of money because of these prejudiced people. Even the bank is giving him problems. Zara becomes anguished. Miss Ruby, what if I ruined his life? Ruby takes her hands. My dear, who's ruining things are these bad people? You only brought love to this house. That night, Zara talks to Marcus. Marcus, if you want to give up, I understand. I don't want you to lose everything because of me. Marcus stops reading papers and looks at her. Zara, listen to something. I already lost everything once when Helena died. Lost joy, hope, even the will to live. He takes her hand. You gave me back all of this. Some contracts aren't worth even a little bit of what you represent to me. Emma appears in pajamas. Why are you talking seriously? Marcus picks her up. We were just talking about how happy we are together. Emma hugs both. Me too. I'm happy together. For months after the marriage proposal, it's the wedding day. The ceremony will be in the mansion garden, only with who really matters. Zara gets ready in the room with Ruby. She wears a simple but beautiful dress, garden flowers in her hair. My child, you're radiant, a truly beautiful bride. Miss Ruby, thank you for everything, for having the courage to show Marcus the truth. Ruby finishes arranging the veil. I'm the one who thanks, dear. It's been a while since this house saw so much happiness. Downstairs, Marcus waits in the garden decorated with simple flowers they planted themselves. The guests are few but special. Ruby, some loyal house employees, Dr. Thompson with his wife, and 2 new businessmen who became Marcus's partners. Emma goes down first, beautiful in a pink dress, throwing petals and shouting. The bride is coming. Zara is coming. When Zara appears on the stairs, Marcus gets emotional seeing how beautiful she is. During the ceremony, the pastor asks the traditional questions. Marcus, do you promise to love and care for Zara in joys and sorrows? Marcus looks into her eyes. I promise. In joys, sorrows, and against any prejudice that appears. And you, Zara, do you promise to love and support Marcus in easy and difficult moments? Zara smiles. I promise, because real family doesn't abandon each other. When the pastor says, you may kiss the bride, Emma shouts. Kiss, kiss. Marcus and Zara kiss while Emma claps radiantly. It's a simple wedding, but full of true love. 2 months after the wedding, married life brought a special novelty. Grandma Hope, Zara's grandmother, improved enough to be discharged from the hospital. Today she arrives to live at the mansion. Zara runs to hug her grandmother at the entrance. Grandma, I missed you so much. My dear granddaughter. Oh my, how beautiful you are and what a big house. Emma hides behind Zara, looking at the unknown lady with curiosity and shyness. Grandma, this is Emma, Marcus's daughter. Grandma Hope, even with initial Alzheimer's, maintains natural sweetness. Hi, my little angel. Your mother talked a lot about you to me. Emma whispers very softly. Zara's grandma. That's right. And now I'm your grandma too. Emma doesn't accept the hug at first, but doesn't move away. It's progress for a child who has difficulty with new people. Marcus observes the scene. 4 generations of important women meeting. In the following days, Emma gradually gets used to Grandma Hope. First she accepts her telling stories, then lets her caress her, finally, starts calling her grandma. The family is now truly complete. 6 months after the wedding, Marcus had to reinvent himself professionally. With leaving the business club and losing traditional clients, he started working with smaller companies and startups. He earns less money, but has more purpose. Zara helps with the administrative part and discovered she has talent for numbers. Emma attends a special school 3 mornings a week. She speaks short sentences, plays with some children, but still needs special care. Today they received news about the old villains. Sarah was punished by the psychology board and lost the right to treat autistic children. She works at a popular clinic with less specialized cases. Eleanor lives alone in a small apartment. She lost social status and most of her high society friends. At home, the new Richmond family dines together. Emma tells Grandma Hope about school. Grandma, today I played dolls with new girl. Grandma Hope, who has good and bad days because of Alzheimer's, smiles. How nice, my angel. Did you make a friend? I did. She likes flowers like me. Marcus and Zara look at each other proud of her progress. Ruby serves dessert. Never saw this house so full of life. Marcus takes Zara's hand. It's because now it's a house full of people who chose to be family. 1 year after the wedding, the family is in the garden on a sunny Sunday afternoon. Emma, now 8 years old, plays with dolls. Grandma Hope knits having a good memory day. Ruby prepares a tasty snack. Marcus and Zara are lying on the grass, observing the clouds. That cloud looks like a giant heart, points Zara. Marcus smiles. Just like mine when I look at you. Emma drops the dolls and throws herself in the middle of the two. Daddy's silly. The 3 laugh loudly. Emma snuggles between them. Zara, you're my real mom. Zara caresses her hair. I'm your heart mom, my love, forever. Emma thinks for a second. Heart mom is better. Why, daughter? Asks Marcus. Because normal mom you get. Heart mom you choose because you love. Zara gets emotional with the girl's answer. At that moment, the intercom rings. Ruby goes to answer. Mr. Marcus, there's a lady here. Says she's your mother. Marcus and Zara look at each other. It's been a year since they saw Eleanor. Let her come up. 5 minutes later, Eleanor appears in the garden. She's different, thinner, simple clothes, hair without the perfect styling from before. The arrogance diminished, but it's still there. Marcus stands up. What do you want here, Mom? Eleanor looks at her granddaughter, who shows no joy in seeing her. I came to ask. I came to try to fix things. She looks at Zara. Zara, I was wrong with you. I did terrible things. Zara becomes tense, but polite. You did, Mrs. Eleanor. Eleanor continues, but still with difficulty completely humbling herself. I won't say I understand you, because I don't. But I saw that Emma is happy, and that should be the most important thing. Emma looks at her grandmother, but doesn't approach. Grandma disappeared. Eleanor kneels. Grandma was silly, my angel. Very silly. Marcus crosses his arms. Mom, you made us suffer. Made Emma almost die of sadness. I know, son, and I'll have to live with this for the rest of my life. Zara surprises everyone. You can visit Emma, if she wants. Eleanor looks at her, shocked by the generosity. You would let me, Zara? She takes a deep breath. Every child deserves to have a grandmother, even if the grandmother made mistakes, but it'll have to be my way. Emma looks at her grandmother and whispers, Grandma wants to see my drawing? Eleanor gets emotional. I want to very much, my granddaughter. It's a tiny first step, but it's a new beginning. The sun begins to set, painting the sky pink and orange. Emma points to the sky. Look, happiness color. Marcus hugs Zara. Thank you for choosing our crazy family. Zara smiles. Thank you for letting me be part of it. Emma stands up in the middle of the garden and shouts to the whole house. Happy family forever. Her voice echoes, full of pure joy. From the gate, some neighbors observe the scene. Some still turn up their noses, but others smile, seeing so much genuine happiness. Grandma Hope, even with weak memory, understands she's witnessing something beautiful. What a beautiful family you made. Ruby wipes her eyes. It's the truest family I've ever seen in my life. Eleanor observes from afar, still learning to accept she was wrong. And so ends this story, with a family that chose each other through love, that faced prejudices, that paid the price of happiness, but never gave up. A family where a humble housekeeper became a respected wife, where a special child found her heart mother, where a father learned that real wealth isn't counted in money. A family where even those who made mistakes had a second chance to learn that love has no social class. Because in the end, what matters isn't where you came from, but where your heart chose to go. Do you think Eleanor got what she deserved? Do you think Zara acted right, giving her mother-in-law a second chance? Tell me in the comments. Until the next story.